you guys get your property sold? Are you using an agent? Are you just listing it yourself on various websites? Like, what's the key to making that work?
It's a bit property dependent again. I would say the majority of our sales come from land.com or come from agents, and then probably our own listings. We've been kind of cutting back on the MLS agents because, well, we use broker lists, and it can be a little tricky sometimes. That works out. Sometimes it doesn't. So we started just kind of cutting that out and seeing if we can get away with not using them. We've recently started Facebook again, which I absolutely despise. But I'm trying to use Justin Melquist's approach of, instead of selling it on Facebook, guiding them to our website and selling them there. So we've been trying to incorporate that. We don't do Craigslist, we do Facebook, we do our own website, we have a buyer's list, we have a few other random websites, but yeah, I think the majority of our stuff comes from land.com and agents, and Facebook has been kind of picking up.
How do you decide if and when to enlist the help of an agent to get these things sold? Is it like certain areas or markets or price ranges, or?
I don't know if we really have an exact science for that. We weren't using them, and then we also post on Zillow. But then when Zillow changed their layout to hide, for sale by owners, that's when we started bringing in the agent. And it's worked out to some extent. But sometimes it's, you pay $150 or whatever it may be for an MLS listing, and it's just been getting a bit more complicated. That's when we added the power of attorney to our option, which I don't love, because power of attorney to a seller looks like power of attorney. I'm giving these people power of attorney. It's just been getting a little bit more complicated, and not all agents want to list. For a while, we were sourcing our own agents, but they don't want to do a non-exclusive contract, or we had one great guy, but then he went to a different broker, and then that broker wouldn't let him do his thing. So
I wonder if there's a different way you could word power of attorney. Because I know that just that term might freak some people out. Maybe there's like a different way you could title that clause and basically say the same thing, so they're still giving you the same authority.
So we didn't actually come up with that document. The agent that at the time we were working with sent us that document. But yeah, I think what I ended up doing was, it's a simple document. Honestly, it's one page. It's like 75% of it is just your signature, and it has to be notarized, which I didn't love, because now you got to get that notarized. The seller needs to notarize it. But I did put, I bolded the part that says, for marketing purposes only. So.
Yep. Cool.
The thing about marketing is it's a forever changing beast. So you're constantly making adjustments, and this works one day, that doesn't work the next day.
I know. How many deals do you think you lose as a result of pushing this option thing? Like, do you have any sense for how many people would have said yes if you had just done a cash offer versus even maybe a lower cash offer, but still it's a purchase agreement?
Right. Believe it or not, I don't think many. If they really balk at the idea, we'll ask them, okay, well, how much would you take for the property? Would you take a cash offer for the property? I mean, there are, some negotiation tactics in there. If we can get away with the option, then we get away with it. And it seems like we do. And I'm not above offering them cash, but that comes as a second conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of the times, I'm sorry to cut you off, but a lot of the times the option is, obviously it is a higher offer than a cash offer. And if they hate that offer, they're not going to like the cash offer. So if they don't want the deal with an option, and they're not even considering that, then they're probably not going to consider a cash option. or a cash offer anyway, so they probably wouldn't take it anyway.
Yeah, I think that's probably usually correct. Although sometimes, I don't know, people are motivated by different things, you know? Somebody might be like, hey, I got to get this thing sold in a month. So, like, in that case, maybe, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. That's probably just right on. Is seller financing something you ever do, or are you just selling these all cash?
I almost always offer owner financing. However, I do have to make the down payment adjustable.
How does that work for an option scenario?
Yeah, so the down payment is usually going to cover the acquisition cost or the cost to the seller. If we have the money in the bank, I'll knock it down. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
But yeah, I always offer it because why not? I mean, but I only have two offers, owner financing sales right now, because people just keep buying cash. I was trying to build up my terms portfolio, but seems like everybody keeps buying cash. I don't want to turn cash away.
Yeah. Why do you think that is? Like, are you sort of changing the price based on seller financing versus cash, or is it just that kind of world right now where people have extra cash to throw around?
I think it's a combination of things. I think that sometimes because our down payment is a little bit higher, they're like, well, for another, however much money, I'll just buy cash. We sell, our cash offer is 75% of market value, and our owner financing amount, principal, I guess, would be actual market value, or what we determine to be market value.
Okay, gotcha.
So, but I also think partially it's because as my business is growing, I keep going after more and more expensive deals as long as the volume remains the same. And when you're selling properties for, 30, 40, 50, $60,000, I don't think as many people choose to go with owner financing in that case. I think if you're going to spend $50,000, you probably have $50,000. When I was doing more owner financing before they got paid off, they were under like $15,000.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So I think that's part of it.